after chaos in the Iowa caucuses, Texas Democrats say they're worried about a change in the way they say state reports elections. But there has been a change, and this morning, Alana Rocha with the Texas Tribune is here to talk a little bit more about this. Good morning, Alana. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. We reported yesterday that, the state party, Democrats, were told by state election officials that they might not have all the results in on how they kind of apportion delegates to the Democrats. But, yeah, the Secretary of State's office pushed back last night after not initially replying or responding to requests for comment. They said any reports that we won't have all the results available on Super Tuesday evening are categorically false.
What does this mean? I mean, I feel like the elections in Iowa were Monday.
Yes.
We're approaching the end of the week, and they're still counting. And then now there was this fear. What do you think this means for the average voter? I mean, should they lose confidence?
No, at least not here in Texas. Of course, I just mentioned what the Secretary of State said. But, to the average voter, they'll know, regardless, or before we heard from the Secretary of State, they would know on Super Tuesday night who got the most votes statewide. It's just the Democratic Party, the way they hand out these votes, or the delegates, rather, is very complex formula based on the state Senate districts and precinct level data and things like that, and it's very granular. And those numbers, they said, initially might not be available right away, but now we know that's not the case, and we should have all the results in on Super Tuesday.
I'm sure y'all and us will continue monitoring that as that gets underway. And of course, speaking of Super Tuesday, talking about all the candidates. Michael Bloomberg really dumping in a lot of money here in Texas. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, he has a lot of money to spend, and he's doing so here in Texas. He's set to open 11 more field offices this weekend. We know, and we've talked about here on air, that he's forgoing, kind of participating in the early vote states. Banking on the fact that maybe not one candidate will win all of them and emerge, kind of on that momentum to become the nominee. There are a lot of delegates, as we just talked about, 228 up for grabs here in Texas. That's more than the early states combined.
Wow.
So he's putting all his money here, rolled out a list of endorsements, and just continuing to build his ground game.
Right, and after Iowa, maybe that was a good decision.
Right, considering exactly.
Right. And then real quick, we've got about 30 seconds left, of course. The president's acquittal, we saw history making Mitt Romney voting against his own leader of the party, but Senator Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, they continue to on board.
Right. They supported the president and voted to acquit him. No surprise there. But, of course, looking at the implications, Cornyn is up for re-election this year. A lot of Democrats trying to vie to challenge him. And what his vote means for that election is right now on TexasTribune.org.
All right. A lot of toss-up, a lot of question marks. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lana.